Hello, and welcome to our podcast about Bali. My name is Anna, and we'll talk today about Bali culture or how two different cultures meet here. We'll talk about the everyday life and about ceremonies, like why do they play football at Balinese weddings? Or what is the real, authentic way for a gender reveal party? Oh, ceremony in Bali. And we'll also talk about what Balinese people dream about and why is it so important to have a deep feeling ceremony when you're becoming an adult. And of course, we'll discuss the best places to see in Bali, what is a must try from local cuisine, and how to do business in Bali, and how to make it ethical, how to balance making money and preserving authentic Balinese culture. So let's go. Today we have here with us my favorite person to talk to, my husband. Hi, Felipe.
Hello. Thank you so much. Uh, I'm so happy to be here in my wife's podcast. Because like we talk a lot every day, and now like we talk like chit chat on the form of things. So it's like my first time, like my first podcast ever. So it will be special. So yeah, introduce myself. My name is Hendra. The full name of my Balinese name is Putu Hendra Arimbawa. So yeah, it's literally like means like the first son in Bali for Putu. So yeah, and people call me Hendra or Arim.
Yeah, so three names and no last name. How come?
Well, here most of the Balinese actually don't have like the last name. So like we based on like whether you are coming from the royal palace, yeah, like a royal family, then you have like a what's the name that
Are
is
you
like
coming
a
from a royal family?
no, I'm not. But it can be like a Ida Bagus, Gusti Ngurah, that is like royal family.
That's
But I'm
names.
like a Putu, that means like is a common clan in general, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, but the main question they usually ask me when they know I'm a wife of a Balinese man is how did you meet, guys? Tell his romantic story, Thayan.
We actually met in front of McDonald's, right?
Yeah, very,
So
very
that's
traditional.
pretty much like our first date of meeting in front of McDonald's. Anya was a teacher that volunteering in Java, actually in Surabaya, and after that we are have like some meetings here in Bali, like for traveler meetings. So that's why I met you, and like yeah, we going on motorbikes, couple of different places. So yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
met
it.
through couch surfing, and I asked Kendra to show me the island, and he showed. Then I fell in love with the island first, and then with Kendra.
So I'm secondary here.
Yeah, when they asked me why did you move, I moved because of Kendra, and I also call him Sayan. Yeah, Sayan means what? Sayan,
Darling.
darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have our son, and his full name is I Gede Liam Arka Juna. And Juna in his passport is like a last name because he also doesn't have a last name. So basically, we call him Juna by his last name at home, like Mr. Juna almost. Yeah, so we already been married for how many years?
5 years.
5 years, still
Yeah, I mean
going.
like soon will be 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, well, wedding ceremony was in the beginning of pandemic, and that was the only reason we had a quite small wedding, only 30 people, I guess, because Hendra invited 1,113 people. How is
Yeah,
it possible
but
to?
in Bali somehow like we try to recall of our friends that we know, like your father's friends, your mom's friends, the brother circles, your sister circle. So everybody that we know, basically all over our lives, and since like we. What's the name? Since our elementary school, let's say, it's like we try to reach their contact, invite them up about our wedding, and of course like our family also like the happiest people for the wedding, so we let them to invite like their some of their circle, so that's why it's come up to that numbers 1113 as you said.
Yeah, but even though with 30 people it was so much fun, all the grandmas in the village were so happy because they made me blush all the time. Like there were some rituals, like I was symbolically given my virginity to my husband is like a real ritual. And there were some other like this, like, oh,
Yeah,
was it
yeah,
new
it
for
was
you too?
like no, it's not something new, but of course, like I never done it before because this is my first marriage. But somehow, like yeah, there's like something like made of coconut, like a coconut with things like this, and after that, this is like part of you, and after that, they brought me the keris, right? Like keris in Balinese means the sword. So literally, like what's the name? Cut your virginity or something like that.
Yeah. Everybody had so much fun there. Yeah. And also, I had to change my religion because it's legally I'm obliged to do so, to be the same religion with my husband. Well, actually, it could be the husband changing the religion, but that's how it was done with us. And it was actually me repeating a lot of like
Sentence.
like mantra or.
Yes. Oof. Yeah, that was Ratu, like the priest, the holy priest was giving me a couple of different words. And that is not like a totally like mantra, but basically like a oath, maybe like a promise that you will follow like a Hindu religion and so on, so on. So basically like that. And what do you feel about that? Like you are fine to be Hindu right now, or you regret about it?
No, I mean, how did I feel at the moment? Was I'm grateful that I had to repeat all these words. I didn't understand what it is because I felt so responsible. Because otherwise, I think it was such a big moment for me. I was really expecting like to cry, but it was what do I repeat? Like this, and in the end,
But you didn't really crying that time. Like I was the one
yeah,
who
yeah.
cried.
Because I felt responsible. I need to follow all of this. And in the end, the priest, he did 3 times like this on some document. Like, doof, doof, doof. I thought it's like a signature, like spiritual signature from him. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I remember, and we have the video. Like that was emotion video. So and don't forget, like we also have like that ceremony where we're playing the football things. Like the beginning of your talk, you said like playing football on the wedding, but it's not like a football match.
Yeah. What was that?
Okay, that is we call like Metanjung Sambuk in Balinese culture. That is like Metanjung Sambuk is basically like when we are trying to have like a coconut husk. So this coconut husk is already opened, and we have like the the duck or the chicken eggs inside. So basically, like each of us need to kick this coconut husk, and after that, we kick it up until 3 times, like 3 from me, 3 from you. And the aim and the goal is like to make the egg inside the coconut husk like to break. If it's not break up until that third kick, then you have problem. That's what they said, like or somebody create that problem. So that's what the belief over here. So it could be like the problem that I said and I mentioned is like it can be like you having problem with your pregnancy, take longer time like to have baby, on so on so on, something like that. But that's why it's like very emotional, very one of the most people say it's like the one that we need to protect during that ceremony, and we like the highest energy is of the ceremony is appearing on that period of rituals. So need to be like very careful on that one. Of course, like I didn't tell you before earlier about that one, but yeah, that's the surprise of the Balinese wedding. So many different new things also from me and you.
Yeah, it's still new. I didn't know about the eggs up until now. I thought it's the coconut itself has to crack because I remember it has had some.
Yeah, tridatu,
Thread
like a
or-
3 different colors of a thread, and after that, it's twisted over there. So if somebody tied it too tight or like placed like the egg is too not fragile enough,
Yeah, so you have problem later with the pregnancy, with the fertility problem.
that's what they believe. Yes.
So how do you feel about the foreigners participating in Balinese rituals and ceremonies?
Oh yeah, of course, it's a great respect like to any of them who are putting like their time and their effort and their what's the name ability like to share and also like to observe like our culture. That is really wonderful like to see. And since I was a kid, I always loved like when bule or like a foreigner come to Bali and like joining like any type of ritual. So since I was a kid, so it's kind of like a majestic, like to see like oh okay, they also have like the feeling of what we are doing as a local people, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I was doing offerings like the beautiful little baskets made of flowers and anything that you have the best of to put all around the house every evening. So I was doing it when we lived alone by ourselves because we live with Kendra's family now.
What do you feel like now, like as a 6 years Balinese married? So do you think like it's still interesting for you, like to know more about like the culture, or it is like something that you feel like okay, there are many weird stuff that I've done so far and it's
There is a lot
enough.
of weird stuff that's coming up every single day. Like I'm learning about new ceremonies every time, and it's different from village to village. All the rituals, like the wedding in this village, will be very different from another one. And because I think Balinese people are very artistic, so they like to add something else from their own philosophy or some beautiful way to perform this. So that's very interesting always to explore.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting on the evolutions of all of these things. So, in the beginning, like I share like how my father, like how they got married. Like like they even don't know like the date when they are going to have married. So it's like chosen by the parents itself. And after that, like what they did is only like doing like a one small ceremonies, like 20 or 30 minutes, and then boom, they are married. Even like
That's compared to other usual ceremonies of the wedding. Like it can be from 5 a.m. until very late night, and you invite 1,000 people.
it's because like I mean like when we are married or like in the generation that we are now, like there are like so many adaptive things happening, like from the makeup, like perspective, it's already different and changed. Like the makeup, like what you did and I did before, it start like from 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. But let's say like how my father was married, he was just called by the mom and being said like where are you now, like I'm at work at the moment, like my father said. And after that my grandma says like you going to have like to do like the rituals tonight, because there will be like some ceremony for your own wedding. So that is how like it was prepared in the past. And after that there like that one sequence of ceremony, and the other one like a bit bigger one is like when they have invitations, but it's like not so big like at the moment, and you don't need like to decorate yourself and make up yourself, because like my father is only like doing like a small singlet, for example, like for the wedding itself.
Yeah. So about the Balinese calendar, it's also a lot of fun because every day you get some advice on what is better to do today. It can be cutting rice, which is also, there are many different words in Balinese, in Indonesian language for rice. So there are different advice for what to do on that day. And because of that, for example, Hendra's sister, she was advised by the priest when is the best day for her son to be born. So the priest was choosing the best day, not the doctor when to make the Caesar section. Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, I also wanted to talk about the teeth filing ceremony. Have you ever done this, right?
Yeah, before married. So there's like sequence of, let's say we call it like manusia yatnya. It's like a ceremonial for the human, like as a self progressing until the adult and until they are died. So on this period of times, like we have like a 3 month ceremony, 6 month ceremony. After that, this 6 months ceremony
That's
is
for the
repeat
little baby, yeah?
repeat until you are big. So it's not only like for baby. The 6 month ceremony we call otonan is like our own birthday actually. But until then we are like a teenager, then we start like to having this fang. So this fang is actually like a, because the your front teeth, like 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 6 fangs. So basically like in front of your teeth there are 6 fangs, that is like symbolizing like the satripu. Sat is means 6, so this front 6 is like a symbolizing like a our greediness, craziness about something, and also anger, and sometimes like we call it like being laziness and being what's the name? Bingung. Bingung is means like something that confuse you in life. So this is like what we want like to tackle. So that ceremony is like symbolizing like we want to tackle that issues before like we are going to be an adult, before we going to start a family, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's not very common here to show any negative feelings, and that's also very common advice here. If you come here to live, if you interact with local people, if you do business, especially, that you never start a conflict. You try to avoid conflict by all means, right? Is it true that you don't like to show any negative feelings, like to discuss any disagreement?
Well, that is correct and not correct also. Like in many different ways, Balinese itself already have a foundation for that one. Where of course, like the foundation is like a small or big gathering meeting that held in each of the Banjar. Banjar is like a local council where people are seated and talk and discuss about something. So basically, like any disagreement or discussion can be held over there. But I do agree with what you said, like about our character. Like we don't like to confront and showing like our anger like straight away. We mainly like hide them. I don't know why, but we mainly hide and avoid it. So that type of foundation is being established like a long time ago, and I think now is where the stage is like we don't have like that council being what's the name being held in many for example like in a big city. In the city, like we don't have like that quite often, like people sitting together. So there's the discussion is sometimes is like very limited. That's why like nowadays, in my opinion, people get emotional like quickly in social media, as you can see like they are like locals or foreigners like having problem. That is also like what I feel like a what's the name like a start of it or consequences of this.
No, but okay, but for me as observer here, I think the anger, for example, it's very common to express through art. So they have the trance ceremony here. They have very like really scary monsters called Ogogo. I think I'll ask you the next question will be about it. And also like to do all this art, like weaving the offerings, the daily offerings for women. It's also a way to express yourself, to put your emotions into this. So I think that's a really good way to express yourself, not to hold it into, and to be artistic, to put it into art. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think
this,
I totally agree with you. Like it's not like only like the Banjar as the foundation of like a small or big gathering I mentioned before. It is also like because Banjar is like very holding like a complex of activities, like what you said like before. Like there are hundred of women are going there at certain times, like collecting their energy and bring it to make offerings. And also like the men coming also like for making ogo-ogo or creating something like for the wedding of somebody else in the village. So that is like
yeah,
how
that's
we
something you
create
must do.
the
Yeah, like you need to go back to your village, even if you live far. You still need to go and participate in this communal process, like to feel as one.
well, yeah, that is yes or no at the moment. Like for example, just seeing me as a person, as a Balinese itself, I'm not really involved in that Banjar kind of things because I born right in Denpasar, but I'm actually originally from Mengwi, where it is like what's the name, the relative of me is still having a lot of different activities over there as a part of the Banjar, but because I have like my own Banjar now, but it's more like a, we call it desa dinas. So it's like something like administratively, like you are living here, but you are, of course, like in Bali, like you need and must make a connection into the local community. Otherwise, it's not. It doesn't mean like you are look like Balinese for here. Like
Yeah, and the
so.
main ceremonies, from what I know, must be like declared in front of God, in front of environment, and in front of other people to make it as a done.
Formal, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is we call it trisaksi, like the witness, three witnesses of our life, like environment, like the God itself and the people. So that's why like our wedding involved like that many people. Why? Because we want them to witness as a community, as a the people that we know in our life. And after that, of course, like there's like a ceremony that can be big, can be small. Like you choose, which is like what's the name? Like something that you can choose at the moment. Like if you want to create like a big wedding, it's possible. Of course, like, if you can afford it, of course. But there's also like options like to create like a smaller one, like a more emotional between a couple of peoples. But I think this is like getting common now in Bali. Like recently, like 2 days ago, like my team was in a wedding. They are married one to another, my coworkers. So they basically like married in a non-complex community, not like in a village. They are not back in village, but they are creating like in a hall, something like this, but still inviting people. Like the essential of the ceremony are still there also as well.
Yeah, tell us more about where you work. You're a director, not co-workers. You're workers. You're a great
Well,
team.
I like to call like the colleagues, and it's not like my workers like okay, like downstream. I do have like a workers, like we works like with 40 peoples. Like I do have like two different businesses, mainly like one is on export and creating like furnitures and handicrafts. So that is two business over there. Is called like dari Bali sourcing, and also Adidharma Cargo, that is like on logistic sections on export import. And the other one is like what we create newly, like that is Sokasi Cafe. So that is like selling
What's it
food.
called?
Sokasi Cafe.
Sokasi Cafe. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just opened the cafe and yeah, you said about your workers. Tell me more about our business, your business.
Well, I do have like three different main companies. One is Adidharma Cargo, that is a company that is actually is like my father's company. It start from so I'm the second generation.
Family business.
It's a family business, okay. And after that, I'm the second generation of it, and now we are on the 31st of the company, 31st year, 31 years. And after that, the second company that I do is it's happened like already the past 7 years actually. It start from like a many small different things that I sell for people abroad. Like okay, like my friend in Australia, for example, before I have like something like for me like to ship to and something like this, and I call it like Dari Bali Living, where
Dari Bali, yeah.
Dari Bali Living.
What does it mean?
Actually, it's literally means like coming from Bali. So it's like something that is we source in Bali, we create in Bali, or like at least like the artisans, the artist is coming from Bali also, the manufacturers. So that's like how I combine like my expertise on exporting them, and after that now I'm creating like the platform like to be easier to catch with what the products that we have here in Bali. After that, we help the traders, we help the exporter like to have like a variety of items like what we see in the beautiful villas, hotels of Bali.
Everybody
There's
loves
everything
Bali.
that
Everybody would
home
love to have a
decors.
piece
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Bali at their house, yeah, even if not in villa in Bali, but
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
far in Norway or Brazil. What are the furthermost countries you ship things
I
to?
think if I calculate by the distance, it should be like somewhere in US, right? So it could,
Peru, I remember.
Peru is in one line with the US, like they
Only
are like
thing
the
you never
south of
ship
the
to is
US, right?
probably Antarctic or something. I mean the country that is like very hard to believe. Like it's
Yeah, like something like Mauritius, I
far.
guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mauritius is like small French islands.
Yeah.
So
It's really a proud moment, yeah, to represent your country, your island so far away.
we also ship like to Tortola Island, something like that, very small. But yeah, by the distance is somewhere around the Hawaii, I guess. like because it's like 12 hours different compared to Bali. So I guess it's like the most
Hello
fun.
to everybody from so far away.
And yeah, the last one that actually like the business that we are created together and also try to establish. The last one is the one that we just having like
What's it called?
Sokasi Cafe. Sokasi Cafe. Yeah. So we just have the grand opening like about 1 month ago. So it's a new tiny business of F&B, selling like many different type of food, Indonesian, Asians. We have Western also as well. And then what make it unique is because like the concept that we are trying to create there is like to have like the feeling of being a community, sharing something, and also having a good food. But that's created under the name Sokasi. Actually, like Sokasi means like a what's the name? A place, a box where we keep and put our offerings, the best of it, of what we have, to the people, to the God, and to the people that we want
Like
to
a
share.
magic box that you put all the best things when you go to the ceremony, and like you put the tastiest, the most flavorable, that smell so good, and everything that you offer to gods, to spirits, and you bring there. And that's how we would like to share the,
But I
two
think-
different cultures
Yeah.
meet, and we want different cultures meet at our cafe and live-in. By the way, yeah, we have a gallery also representing Balinese interior designer things there.
And handicrafts, yeah.
Handicraft.
What we export, like we put it there as the display house, and it's an example of what we can ship and what we can create it like for villas or home project or traders anywhere they are, not only in Bali but outside of Bali also. But what interesting, like because you are also taking a lot of different roles in Sokasi. Like you have like many of the ideas like to bringing people over there. So what actually like your ideas? Like we have what we call Bali Banja, right? So what do you think about that?
I have goosebumps thinking about this because I'm so excited to make it as a place for people to come together and share the best ideas, the most exciting events there, to share the knowledge. It can be as a how do you call it, like a pop science things, when you explain marine biology, or when you discuss how to do this, make these offerings, or to just share your ideas, or to read poems that you wrote. And it's so wonderful. I hope it will be a beautiful, beautiful community there, and to make people come together, in these times when people trying to find a way to fight for something. You make them meet and share and see what is the best things they can offer, what is the best things you can take from another, you can give to each other, to make peace and friendship around the world. And for example, my friends, they are all, such a proud moment, they're all saying that the best thing they tried there is a Balinese dessert called dadar gulun. So I'm so proud we're the first ones presenting them, even though it's all around, Indonesian cuisine, the food here. But we're the ones that present an Indonesian dish here, which is dadar gulun, is like a little pancake with the shredded coconut inside, with the palm sugar, which is actually healthier than the refined white sugar. So that's a healthy, happy place. And we happy to welcome everybody there.
You can ask a little bit more about Sokasi, I guess.
What's your favorite food? Like, what do you think you would suggest foreigners or people who come to Bali first time to try?
In Sokasi or in?
Oh, your favorite Balinese food?
Oh, my favorite.
Probably the one that you have in Sokasi.
Well, actually, we don't have my favorite food in Sokasi.
You look like hungry now thinking about Sokasi.
Thinking about babi guling, actually. So my favorite food, I think, when I was in Australia for a while, I keep thinking about like how good it can be, like the babi guling. Babi guling is like a suckling pig, actually, like But suckling pig is not the whole pig that you are eating on the plate, but it's like more like a you have like the this and there of many different Balinese food, but including like this suckling pig on the dishes. But yeah, that is like my favorite, I guess. But I don't eat it. I need to control because otherwise it's too much cholesterol. But somehow, like in Sokasi itself, I'm interested like the idea that we give over there, like to have like some Indonesian favorite food, like a local fave, we call it. That is like one of our best selling is the babi rempah,
What is it?
right?
Babi, tell us more.
Babi is the pork,
Yeah.
yeah, and rempah is like when you put a lot of different Indonesian ingredients, like what's the name, herbs,
Herbs.
all together in the dishes. So it's actually like even like my Balinese friend who own a restaurant came there and then taste this one and they like doing squeezing me like this
Yes,
and
they
saying like,
target
oh
you.
man, this is so damn good. And recently, like I have another friend who is coming, so he's like really say like, oh, I think this is like something that make you what's the name, addicted. So yeah, I recommend you like to try this babi kecap rempah.
Yeah. But the one thing that we don't have there is rujak. I think you should try it. The same as the what's it called? The fruit,
Salad,
the smelly
Balinese salad.
fruit that
Durian.
durian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and don't forget to take a video of your first try of durian. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Wait. And the same with rujak. That was my first reaction when I smelled it. I never tried it because it's what is it?
Well, I think the smell is coming from the what we call the shrimp paste. So,
Yeah, but it's mixed with sour fruits with shrimp paste, and it is spicy.
yeah, it's a little bit weird if you are thinking about that, but to be honest, you what's the name? You will see me with saliva dripping, you know, when I smell this rujak.
Yeah, it's a
Some-
dessert. Yeah.
yeah, we call it dessert, of course. It's lovely like to eat it in the afternoon.
What else would be advice from you for people like first timers in Bali, where to go to? Because I know that many people go to purification ceremonies, like, under the waterfall, like, so feeling like a fresh new start. But how does it really work for a Balinese family? Because I witnessed that and I participated in that. So tell us more how it goes for real Balinese people here.
Oh, well, I think it's quite simple for me. Something that is interesting is not always on Instagram, like or like what we see, like the purification on Instagram, like on the water, it looks like beautiful. Yes, like for many of the people, that is like the purification and blah blah blah. And but for me, like as a Balinese, I am more enjoying like my small moment, to be honest, in the Balinese family temple, for example. I think if you have ever like a Balinese friend, ask them like to invite yourself, like to come into the temple of their family to explain, because I think because Balinese people are very attached with their family. Balinese people are family guy. They almost don't want to leave their home there because of the temple, they say. So because of that, yeah, get a chance, sit together in their home temple, and after that, feel them like having their prayers and so on, so on. And also, of course, like it's a universal temples. It's not only for their family. If you want to connect with your God or what you believe, the soul of yourself, it's also a good place. Like it's quiet, especially in the night. Like so, I think that is like what my recommendation of things that you can do culturally. And if like a place that I love to visit, I think you should do Lembongan. It's beautiful. It's less crowded than Nusa Penida because Nusa Penida is like really packed with and jammed with traffic because of the distance over there. But in Nusa Lembongan, it's lovely. It's offer you like the best
Any
sunset.
secret places to reveal from Lembongan or from any big Bali island?
Well, there's a couple of waterfalls actually like not being explored. I think we used to love to come to waterfalls before, and that's like one of the highest waterfall in Bali. That is, what's the name?
Sekumpul.
Sekumpul. Yes, you know that better.
Then you posted, and now everybody's there now. And in Lembongan
Yeah.
Island, on this little waterfall by the ocean, many people go there. I don't want to post secret places anymore, only on our podcast to talk about maybe.
Okay. And how about you? What you like to visit?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
What's your
that
favorite
my
so far?
How was my first visit to Bali? I remember that I stayed in some homestay, and there was a big ceremony. For me, it was just a ceremony, yeah. And the owners of this little guest house, they gave me the traditional clothes. They told me where to go to, and in the end, then I figured out it was one of the most sacred ceremonies in Bali, like that are being held during the whole night. What's it called? The about the fight between good and bad, the evil and good, and it was lasting until, I think for me, until midnight. But then Hendra told me that people stay until the morning because the ceremony is so scary that people don't want to go home. It's scary, so they stay until the sunrise.
But the gossip was like it's not allowed to go home, so that's different thing. So you don't want to go home, and it's not allowed to go home. That is two different things.
Because people are very afraid of ghosts.
Yeah, well, we call it Calonarang, that type of performance. So that Calonarang is held like, if I'm not wrong, it can be start from 7 or 8 o'clock in the night and end like can be around 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's a long process of different sequence of drama, different sequence of ritual ceremony, and yeah. So that is believed to be a moment where they do like the, what's the name, black magic power fighting between some people that have like a energy or power.
How does it work that you trying to not only worship the good guys, but you trying to worship the balance between good and bad? How does it work that you make offerings to the lower spirits on the, when you see it on the floor, the little offerings on the road? That's also worshiping, like giving gifts to the lower bad spirits.
Yeah, in our Balinese philosophy, there's like 3 layers of yatnya or offerings actually. The highest, of course, is like gone for the god itself. The second sacrifice is gone for the human, like belong the people. And the third one is about the energy that we not seen. So for us, like any type of energy, like we must respect, either is bad or good. So to balance like this, all three, like we need like to create like a respect first. So like how we show respect is like many different type of things, because that's why like Bali culture is like a very enormously big, and after that one to another is very different. For example, like we talk about ogo-ogo, that is like part of our respect into like the lower energy. We don't actually say it's lower, but it's like another energy, like we call it like butayatnya. So this butayatnya is like for the type of energy that we not seen, but can also create imbalance if we not respect them. So that's why like this type of ceremonial is happen every time like we are making ceremony. If you, after you pray, for example, in the temple, you always offering like something for the energies below after the main offerings, something like that. Yeah, the philosophy is like, of course, like creating like a balance in many different layers of our life. We call it like a Buana Alit, it's ourself. Buana Agung is like the universe itself.
What do Balinese people pray about?
Well, I think most of us, of course, like prosperity to get money, like to be able like to pay for the rent here, bill there and there. So I think that's most common things. But
when I asked Hendra first time, what do you usually praying about? And he told me that, oh, I'm asking to have more power, more resource and energy to help other people. And I thought, oh, it's so cute. While I was praying, to have money for more travel to Bali or wherever else.
Well, I think there's, of course, like it's depend on your situation too. Like in the past, I was younger, so of course, like I want to have like some more energy, like to create like for the community and something like this. And now, like I have family, I have like responsibility, like to do and well the if the business running well, for example, like of course, like I need to think like this 40 people that I'm hired, like to be able like to continue their life. So if I'm being passive or not working and not pray for it, so I'm also, like for me, it's like need to be balanced over there.
But I think it's working because the business is running. And then Hendra has a brother. He was praying for losing weight and he lost about 20 kilos. Maybe it does work. Yeah. So, what do Balinese people dream of?
The dream. Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
I
I
think
want
if
to.
it can be like
Is it okay if and then I'll say
okay.
something. Yeah, I really want to ask this question to everybody who is coming to our podcast and to see like this very genuine reaction.
Well, this is not because like the idea of the dream is not being here, or as a Balinese, like you want like to be balanced with many different things too in the same times, like with this global situation about war and so on so on. I think like the first thing that come up to my head is like to bring peace to people, like of course like
Bring
to
fish?
peace. So to people and to community if it's possible, of course, and is as a personal value on your personal level. I think it's like to bring positive family and create like a lovely family. I think that is enough for the most of the Balinese people.
But you're in community of young entrepreneurs of Bali, right? And even for our grand opening of the cafe, one of our guests was the senator of Bali. Like it was very honorable to have him. And how come? Like you met him through your volunteering projects before, right? Can you tell us more about this?
Well, so the senator that came was the Raimandra. He's also the candidate for the governor of Bali and currently becoming like the senior committee for the senator in Jakarta for Bali. So basically, yeah, I know him like in couple of occasions. I was having discussion with him in his office before about stress in Bali, and also like that was back to 2014 actually when we create like a movement called Trash Talk. So this idea is like to create a festival that tackle the issue of waste, plastic waste in Bali. So yeah, glad that him like really appreciate that one. He helped to fund a little bit of the festival, and in many different occasions after that, of course, like I'm meeting with many different of my organizations. It was HIPME, like the young entrepreneurship community. There was Kadin, the Chamber of Commerce, and so on, so on. But basically, like I think it's not about like political things that he came to our place, but it's more like he trying to support like many of the ethical and also people that is working. So I know him like for that long, so I'm so glad that he's coming. So it is very honorable moment for us actually in Sokasi, and that also means like he's really value like the young generation have like a movement, have a idea of ethical business in Bali on the island. So I think that is like a kind support of him to came to our grand opening.
Yeah. What's your point of view on how to keep the business ethical, how to balance in this modern world.
Well, since I work in a family business, this 31 years is not a short time for this family business. I know it's the second generation only, but because of that, I think I understand like this is like not something that is to be discontinued one day. It needs to be continued one day. So this is like a long run if we're talking about it. So it needs to be ethical and sustainable in many different ways for the business. And at this period, I'm thinking like, okay, not only for me, but only also for anybody else, like who want to create like a business. I think we need like to think that the business or what we are creating now is like not only like to ourselves. We only borrow like this land or this Bali is like from our own children. So if you want to create like something good, like you need to think about your children, what they are looking after, like how they can be in the future. Will they have enough space? Will they have enough land to live? Or everything will be destroyed because of our only generation?
And how do you see Bali in 10 years, or what would you suggest to people who live here already, like foreigners or people from other islands or people who want to come here first time? What would you suggest? Catch the moment, or how to treat this island, how to treat people here?
Well, what my biggest concern and what I'm afraid of is the massive tourism actually. Like everything is valued only under valuation of money. So people are creating more things in order like to get more profit. So that's what I'm afraid of. So I hope in the future it's not like we only taking everything like for money, but we also able like to preserve like a culture and also what is our value and identity as a Indonesian or as a Balinese. So I hope this can be transferred into the next generation of Bali. So what I want to see with my son, for example, like Juna, I want to see him like to be able like to, let's say, making a coding something like an app or something like that, because we cannot ignore that we live in the technology world. So we need to teach our son for that type of things or ethical type of business. But in the same time, I want to see him like to be able like to play gamelan, like create like composing like some dance or like dance freely in his own banjar or create ogo-ogo with the community. So I think that is how I want like and I perceive what happened in the future of Bali. And what important is like to balance them. Now you understand like there's a lot of foreigners coming to Bali. Sometimes like they are doing good, sometimes doing bad things also in Bali. So what your tips like to be integrated like with the local
That's a
people?
trigger point for me. Yeah. The worst thing I think is happening is that all the focus is now on the bad guys. The bad guys get attention. The bad guys get the footage and the reels and what's happening with them, and the good guys who are working towards the ethical co-living here, their learning culture, they're sharing their culture here, they try to make the people come together. They don't get attention, they don't get praise. And I mean, not only foreigners, the local people too. And I wish it was like this. Show the example, take something that you like from there, do it in your life, and that would be great, because we have so many people living here, like Balinese people teaching their culture to foreigners doing some volunteer work, and it's not even in the law. It's not. It's quite vague. Yeah, how you can become a volunteer and how to make it still working while you're not getting paid for this, while you're paying for volunteering here, and you want to give your time and energy for saving some ecosystem here, for example. And I wish this type of people would get more attention.
Yeah, that is so sad. Like people are too focused on the bad things, yeah, like the crazy things. It's not educate people, but somehow like it can be replicate it and being example of the other people. Oh, okay, that is looks like something that getting more attention.
Yeah,
So,
participate in local ceremonies. Try doing something like this. For example, where in Batuan, yeah, they have this beautiful dance that you can join. Any foreigner can join. I mean, the women, women can join the dance that they're performing every night. I think after Nyepi or Galungan, that's the one of the main holidays here, religious holidays. And then the women standing in the rows and they're slowly moving in a dance towards the musicians. And the interesting thing is why they dance. They're dancing before this big holiday for, I think, 40 days. It's like a Balinese month. It consists of 40 days to get all of the attention of the bad guys, of the bad spirits, of the somebody who can do harm for the village. So these bad guys, the spirits, they would be watching these beautiful ladies dancing and they will not do any harm. So the foreigners can join this, and that's so beautiful. Like people come together to bring some peace, to make it peaceful.
and interesting now, actually, like we have like the pecalang, Mr. Alex, who always like always on duty in many of Ubud ceremony. So if you see like this, Mr. Alex was like very involved in many local traditions. Pecalang is like Balinese police somehow. So that is also a good example. Like actually, like we welcome as long as you are doing the good things. Like so, yeah, that is one example. Like we can focus on that one. Like this, Mr. Alex is a very good example on that one also.
Still so many things we haven't covered, and I hope to see you again at home and then again in our studio to talk about Balinese culture. And I hope we get more questions from you or comments, that we would know what is interesting to see, try, taste, participate in when you're in Bali. Yeah. Thank you, Hendra. Thank you, Sayang.
Thank you, my wife. Thank you, darling, sayang.
Thank you.
Okay.